The galactic transit station orbited between three star systems, a marvel of engineering where 100 species conducted their business in careful, calculated movements. Every corridor was monitored, every step was measured, every breath was documented. Nina had been working on the station for 3 months, and she still couldn't get used to the silence. The Velhari moved through the halls like whispers, their 6 legs creating a rhythm so precise that station AI could predict their location within nanoseconds. The Torgesh floated in their environmental suits, never touching the ground. The cubs, the youngest species to join the galactic community, scurried about with clipboards and sensors, documenting everything with the earnest dedication of children given their first real responsibility. Joel found it hilarious. Nina found it exhausting. "They're terrified of us," Joel had told her during orientation. "The moment humanity showed up with our chaos engines and our, it'll probably work attitude, half the council needed therapy." Nina had laughed then. She wasn't laughing now. She was late for a meeting with the Velhari Trade Commission, rushing through Junction 7 with a datapad in one hand and coffee in the other, real coffee, imported at absurd expense because the station's nutritional beverage tasted like recycled despair. Her shoelace was untied. She'd been meaning to fix it. She didn't see the slight elevation change where Junction 7 met Corridor 12B. The station's floors were supposed to be perfectly level, but there was a micron height difference that no one had bothered to report because no species noticed it, except humans, who, apparently, didn't notice it either. Nina's foot caught the ridge, her coffee went airborne, her datapad clattered against the wall, and Nina, diplomat, xenobiologist, representative of Earth, went sprawling across the pristine corridor floor with all the grace of a drunken giraffe. "Ow," she muttered, more embarrassed than hurt. The alarm started immediately. Not a subtle beep. Not a gentle notification. A full-scale emergency klaxon that made Nina's teeth rattle, and her coffee, now splattered across 3 meters of floor, seemed to vibrate in sympathy. Red lights flooded the corridor. Pressure doors slammed shut at both ends with pneumatic hisses that sounded like the station itself was gasping in horror. "Incident detected in Corridor 12B," the station AI announced in its maddeningly calm voice. "Biological entity experienced gravitational displacement. Initiating emergency protocols." "What? No. I just tripped." Nina scrambled to her feet, waving at the nearest sensor. "It's fine. I'm fine." The sensor regarded her with what she could only interpret as skeptical disapproval. 3 cubs appeared from a side passage, their small, furred bodies bristling with concern. They looked like a cross between otters and raccoons, with enormous eyes and tiny paws that somehow operated technology with incredible precision. The lead cub, wearing a junior safety officer badge that was almost as large as its torso, approached Nina with extreme caution. "Human Nina," it chittered, its translator rendering the words with careful formality. "Please remain stationary. Medical assessment required. Structural integrity scan required. Incident report required." "I just tripped," Nina repeated, feeling heat rise to her cheeks. "Really? It's nothing. Humans trip all the time." All 3 cubs recoiled, as if she'd announced she was carrying a plague. "All the time?" the lead cub squeaked. This is a chronic condition?" "No, I mean, yes, but..." Nina sighed. "We're just clumsy sometimes. It's normal." The cubs exchanged glances that clearly communicated they thought humans had no business being in space. "Nina? Nina? What's going on?" Joel's voice crackled through her comm. "I'm showing an emergency lockdown in your sector." "I tripped," Nina said flatly. Silence. Then, "You've got to be kidding me." "I wish I was." The cubs had deployed scanning equipment, running sensors over the floor where Nina had fallen. One of them was taking holographic images from multiple angles. Another was filling out forms on a datapad with the kind of grave concentration usually reserved for disarming bombs. "Elevation discrepancy detected," the lead cub announced. 0.0003 3 meters variance between junction surfaces. This constitutes a Class 7 safety hazard. It's 0.3 of a millimeter, Nina protested. For species with Velhari leg structure, negligible. The cub agreed. For species with Torgesh locomotion, irrelevant. It fixed her with those enormous eyes. For species who trip all the time, this represents catastrophic danger. Joel arrived 20 minutes later, after somehow talking his way through 3 security checkpoints. He found Nina sitting on the floor because they wouldn't let her stand until structural integrity was confirmed while cubs swarmed the corridor with measuring equipment. So, Joel said, trying very hard not to smile. Nina glared at him. Not a word. Oh, I have many words. I have essays. I have epic poems. A Velhari supervisor materialized from somewhere, its translator humming with bureaucratic displeasure. Human Nina. Human Joel. This incident has been logged. Corridor 12B will be closed for repairs for the next standard hour. All elevation discrepancies will be eliminated. New safety protocols for tripping-prone species will be implemented. That's not necessary, Nina began. Additionally, the Velhari continued, all human personnel will receive enhanced gravitational awareness training, and designated tripping zones will be marked throughout the station. Joel lost the battle and burst out laughing. Nina wanted to die. The cubs filed their report with solemn efficiency. 17 pages detailing the incident, including atmospheric analysis, gravitational field measurements, and a psychological impact assessment. The report concluded that humanity represented a unique challenge to station safety protocols, requiring compassionate accommodation of their chaotic locomotion patterns. An hour later, Nina made it to her meeting 45 minutes late, covered in coffee stains, and trailing 2 cubs who'd been assigned as her safety escorts. The Velhari Trade Commissioner regarded her with what might have been sympathy. I have read the report, it said. Humans are fragile? Humans are clumsy. Nina corrected, her dignity in tatters. Humans, Joel added cheerfully, are entertainingly unpredictable. It's our best quality. The cubs exchanged worried glances and made additional notes. That evening, Nina found a message from the station administrator. A new corridor designation had been added to the station maps. Corridor 12B was now officially labeled Human Hazard Zone 1. She suspected it wouldn't be the last.